Hi, grade 4. Today we're going to be learning about dividing by multiples of 10 and 100. So this is closely related to multiplying multiples of 10 and 100 that we've done before. So remember how we did this. We're going to quickly go over the multiplying first, just so you guys remember how to do that, and then we'll go to the dividing. So we're going to start with 600 times 20. So remember, we took the front end digits, so the 6 and 2, and we multiplied them by each other first. So 6 times 2 is equal to 12. So we put the 12 in the front of the answer, and then we had to add how many zeros we had in the question. So we had 1, 2, 3 zeros in the question, so we put 3 zeros behind the answer. So that means our answer for 600 times 20 would be 12,000. So we're going to do one more together so you guys completely understand it again. So 900 times 200. So our first step is what again? What do we do first? First we do 9 times 2. So what does 9 times 2 equal? Quickly go through your 9 times tables. It would be 18. So where do we put the 18? We put it at the beginning of our answer. Now what is our next step? Is the answer just 18? No, so we have to do count how many zeros we have in our question. So looking at our zeros, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So what do we have to do with those 4 zeros? We put them behind the answer. So that means our answer for 900 times 200 would be 180,000. So I think you guys understand that. You guys did really well with that last time when we learned it. So I think you guys will be okay with that. So we're going to go on to our division questions. So Jan has 140,000 apples. She wants to put equal amounts into 700 different baskets. How many apples can she put in each basket? So we know that we have to divide these two numbers. So 140,000 divided by 7. So here's our long division on the side there to help us through this. So what is our very first step? Our very first step would be how many 7s go into 1? Now wait a minute, doesn't that look a little weird? We're dividing by 700, but we're only asking how many 7s go into 1? Yes, that is what we're doing. That's not a mistake. We are looking at how many 7s go into 1. So we're going to ignore the zeros in 700 for now, and we'll get back to those later. Just like in the multiplication, we ignored the zeros at the beginning, and we got back to them after. So 7 goes into 1 how many times? 0. So we put a 0 above the 1. So the next thing we do is how many 7s go into 14? And you should all be able to figure that out using your 7 times tables. So quickly go through that in your head. So it'd be 2, correct. So we put the 2 above the 4. So now we have to do what is 7 times 2? So 7 times 2 is, we just did this together, 14. 14 minus 14 is equal to 0. All right, then we have to look at the zeros. Now is when the zeros come into play. So how many zeros do we have to add to the answer? So in order to figure this out, it's kind of like the multiplication where we have to look at the two different zeros, but this time we don't add them. We have to subtract how many zeros are in the divisor from how many zeros are in the dividend. So remember, the divisor is 700. It's the number that you're dividing by. So 140,000 divided by 700. So 700 is our divisor. How many zeros are in 700? There's 2. So we have to look at how many zeros are in the dividend. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. So that means we have to add 2 zeros to the end of our answer. So that means that our answer is 200. So 700 baskets have 200 apples in them. All right, let's go through one more question together, and I'm sure you guys want to get it. So our next question is, Katie has 18,000 apples. She wants to put equal amounts into 60 different baskets. How many apples can she put in each basket? So we know that we have to divide 18,000 apples by 60. 18,000 by 60. So we'll put up our long division on the side there. So that's first thing first. All right, so our very first step is what? What did we do first again? So remember, we're ignoring the zeros right now. What is our very first thing we're gonna do? So we're gonna see how many sixes go into one. So quickly do that for me. How many sixes can fit into one? 0. So we put a 0 above the 1. All right, what is our next step? Are we done? The answer is just 0. No, step number 2 would be how many sixes go into 18. So go through your 6 times tables. I'll give you a second. So together we know 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18. So that means our answer would be 3. 3 sixes can fit into 18. So where does this 3 go? This 3 goes above the 8. So we have to see what 6 times 3 is equal to. What is 6 times 3? 18. We just did that. So 18 minus 18 is 0. All right, are we done now? Is the answer just 3? Is that everything that we need to do? No. So we have to look at how many zeros we need to add behind the 3. So how many zeros do we have to add to the answer? So how did we do this last time? Is it just like the multiplication where we just added all the zeros up and put them behind the 3? So this 3 would have 4 zeros behind it, so it'd be 30,000. Does that make sense? No. So what did we do last time? We had to do how many zeros there were in the divisor, and which number is the divisor in this one? It's 60. And we had to subtract the amount of zeros in the divisor from the dividend. So we have 1 0 in the divisor, and how many zeros do we have in the dividend? We have 3. So what is 3 minus 1? 2. So that means we have to add 2 zeros to the end of our answer. So that means our answer would be 300. So 60 baskets have 300 apples in them. All right, grade 4, that's all I have for you guys today. Have a good day. Hopefully you guys will be able to get through this. If not, I'm always there to help. Bye, guys.